Assalamualaikum. Today we will discuss the ascending tracks. Before knowing the ascending tracks, we should have an idea about the three orders neurons: first order neuron, second order neuron, and the third order neurons. Basically, we have almost three types of ascending tracks. One is the anterolateral system, which includes the lateral and the anterior spinothalamic tracts. These two tracts, lateral and the anterior spinothalamic tracts, forms the anterolateral system. This is the one tract, ascending tract. Number two is the dorsal column tract, which is also known as the medial lemniscal system. And the third one are the spinocerebellar tract. Basically, these are the ascending tracts which we will discuss. There is a different arrangements of first, second and third order neurons, but first order and the third order have the same location in case of all these three tracts. First order neurons are present in the posterior root ganglia. Posterior root ganglia. This is the posterior root ganglia in the posterior root of the spinal cord. Here the first order neurons are present. Second order neurons in case of the spinothalamic tract are located in the substantia gelatinosa, while in case of the dorsal column these are located in the nucleus gracilis and cuneatus. And in case of the spinocerebellar tract, the second order neurons are located in the Clark's column. While the third order neurons are the same in all these tracts, these are located in the ventroposterolateral nucleus of the thalamus. So, we will discuss anterolateral system, which have the lateral spinothalamic and the anterior spinothalamic tract. Next one is the dorsal column or the medial lemniscal tract, and third one is the spinocerebellar tract. The first order neurons will be the same in all these types: posterior root ganglia. Second order neuron in case of the anterolateral system are located in the substantia gelatinosa. In case of dorsal column are located in the nucleus gracilis or cuneatus, while in case of spinocerebellar tract these are located in the Clark's column. And the third order neurons are located in the VPL nucleus of the thalamus. Now we will discuss these tracts one by one. Firstly, we will discuss the anterolateral system, which have the lateral spinothalamic and the anterior spinothalamic tracts. Which sensations are carried by the lateral spinothalamic tract? The pain and temperature. These are the two sensations which are carried by the lateral spinothalamic tract, while the anterior spinothalamic tract carry the sensations of touch and pressure. So these are the four sensations which will be carried by the anterolateral system. Now we will trace the anterolateral system or the lateral spinothalamic tract from the first order neurons. Firstly, we should know where the receptors are located, because sensations are firstly perceived by the receptors. Receptors for the lateral spinothalamic tract and the anterior spinothalamic tract are the free nerve endings. Free nerve endings. After perceiving sensations from the free nerve endings, sensations are carried by the first order neurons, which are located in the posterior root ganglia. After that, the first order neuron will synapse on the second order neuron, where in case of the lateral spinothalamic tract, the second order neurons, as I told you, are located in the substantia gelatinosa, and substantia gelatinosa is located in the posterior gray horn of the spinal cord. So here the second order neurons are present, and these neurons will after synapsing, these fibers will cross to the opposite side and ascend in the lateral white column as the lateral spinothalamic tract. After that, they will cross the medulla oblongata, pons and the midbrain. The same. Similarly, anterior spinothalamic tract fibers, after perceiving sensations of touch and pressure, they will go to the first order neuron, second order neuron, again located in the substantia gelatinosa in the posterior glia horn, and they will cross and ascend. These two tracts, anterior spinothalamic and the lateral spinothalamic, and one more tract which is known as the spinotectal tract. These three tracts form the spinal lemniscus. Spinal lemniscus. Spinal lemniscus is a combination of three tracts: lateral spinothalamic, anterior spinothalamic and spinotectal tract. Now these three tracts ascend as spinal lemniscus. They will approach medulla, pons, midbrain. Then third order neurons are located in the VPL nucleus of the thalamus. They will go there, synapse, and then fibers will go into the internal capsule, corona radiata, and finally to the post-central gyrus, which is located in the cerebral cortex. So this is the whole tract of the anterolateral system. So this was all about the anterolateral system. Now we will discuss the dorsal column tract, which is also known as the medial lemniscus system. Firstly, again we will discuss about the receptors. Receptors for the medial lemniscus or the dorsal column tract are located in the Pacinian capsules or the Meissner's capsules. Pacinian or the Meissner capsules. So, after the perceiving the sensation, which sensations are carried by the dorsal column tract? Dorsal column tract carry mainly sensations which are 2-point discrimination, 2-point discrimination, vibration sense, position sense. These are the main sensations, and also the proprioception. These are the four main sensations which are carried by the medial lemniscus system or the dorsal column tract. 2-point discrimination, vibration, proprioception and the position sense. Then how we will trace this tract? Firstly, again the receptors which are in the Pacinian capsules or the Meissner capsules. Then the first order neurons again are located in the posterior root ganglia. After synapsing with the second order neurons which are located in the nucleus gracilis or cuneatus, which are in the medulla oblongata. So what's the difference between the lateral spinothalamic and the medial lemniscus system? Here the fibers will come, and I will draw the medial lemniscus system with the red marker. After synapsing with the first order neurons, the fibers will ascend ipsilaterally, and they will synapse with the second order neurons which are located in the medulla oblongata, where the nucleus gracilis and cuneatus is present. Then the fibers will cross to the opposite side as the internal arcuate fibers. Here the fibers which are arising from the nucleus gracilis and cuneatus are known as the internal arcuate fibers. Internal arcuate fibers. Then after crossing the internal arcuate fibers, the fibers will ascend as the medial lemniscus or the dorsal column tract. Medial lemniscus. Okay, but where is the fasciculus gracilis and cuneatus is located? This one is the fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus. After synapsing with the first order neuron which are in the posterior root ganglia, and the fibers will ascend ipsilaterally as the fasciculus gracilis and cuneatus. But after synapsing with the second order neuron, the fibers are known as the internal arcuate fibers, and after crossing the internal arcuate fibers, the fibers will ascend as the medial lemniscus system. And now this system will cross the pons and the midbrain, and then it will go similarly to the third order neurons, which are located in the VPL nucleus of the thalamus, internal capsule, corona radiata, and finally in the postcentral gyrus. In this way, these four sensations are perceived in the postcentral gyrus located in the cerebral cortex. The last ascending tract is the spinocerebellar tract. Spinocerebellar tract, as the name indicates, its fibers goes to the cerebellar cortex. So, which sensations will be carried by them? Mainly the equilibrium and the balance. So, first order neurons similarly are located in the posterior root ganglia. Second order neurons are located in the Clark's column, and the third order neurons similarly will not go into the thalamus, but they will reach into the cerebellum through inferior and the superior cerebellar peduncles. These spinocerebellar tract is further divided into two types of tract: anterior spinocerebellar and posterior spinocerebellar tract. Now, what is the difference between the anterior spinocerebellar and the posterior spinocerebellar tract? First difference is that the fibers of the anterior spinocerebellar tract don't cross. They don't cross, while the fibers of the posterior spinocerebellar tract will cross. The second difference is the fibers of the anterior spinocerebellar tract will enter into the cerebellum through the superior cerebellar peduncle, while the fibers of the posterior spinocerebellar tract will enter the cerebellum through the inferior cerebellar peduncle. You should know these differences, that the fibers of the anterior spinocerebellar will not cross and enter the cerebellum through the superior cerebellar peduncle, while that of posterior spinocerebellar tract will cross and enter through the inferior cerebellar peduncle. If we trace here, the fibers will go into the spinocerebellar tract fibers will go firstly to the first order neurons, which are located in the posterior root ganglia. Then they will synapse with the second order neurons, which are located in the Clark's column. Clark's column is already, you should know that it is located in the posterior gray column, just lateral to the substantia gelatinosa and the nucleus proprius. After synapsing, the fibers of the anterior spinocerebellar tract will ascend ipsilaterally and they will enter into the cerebellum. Here will be the cerebellum through the superior cerebellar peduncle, while that of the posterior spinocerebellar tract fibers will cross to the opposite side and ascend and enter the cerebellum through the inferior cerebellar peduncle. This was all about the ascending tracts. I hope you understand. Thank you.